welcome to episode 4 of the Fools on a Hill podcast. I'm your host, Cal, and I'm joined today by Liam.
Hi, Callum.
Hi, mate. You okay?
Yeah, it's the fourth time we've spoken in our lives. This is fun.
It is. Too many, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I'm also joined by Yanni. How are you, mate?
I'm fantastic. This is not nearly enough. I need more conversations with you.
With me?
Well,
Sorry? Callum?
Were you talking to me then, Yanni?
No, hun.
Oh, okay.
Is everyone okay? Is everyone
Yeah.
alright? Yeah,
I'm
are you
alright.
alright, Cal? Yeah? Yeah.
I am, mate. Yeah, not much to report.
Sounds happy days.
Well, speaking of reporting, this is a podcast on music, and we're going to report music to your ear holes. The first segment,
Yes.
goes along the lines of, what's the story?
So, first on the list here, a bit of news. I know we're all quite...
You sound so upset about this.
we've all
Liam.
been-
It's understandable. It's really
we've all been hit
understandable.
hard by
Go on,
this
tell 'em.
one. I know I have personally. No, the wondrous girl pop group.
You've chosen that word and you've got to stick with
Yep.
it.
Even when we try and be sincere, we sound like such
I'm being
arseholes.
fully sincere.
Oh, you're trying to be sincere?
Ex-winners of X Factor, I think they won. Little Mix. One of their 4 or 5 or however many there are, 4 I think.
4.
Jessie Nelson has decided to leave the group. Quite randomly, I think. I think it was just
Yeah.
kind of like she just announced that she wasn't sticking around.
I think she was on a hiatus for a bit.
Right. I know there's been a lot
But
of
I'm not sure.
a lot of personal problems and stuff, and she wasn't very much treated well by fans and things for a long time. So gets to people, and we wish her well, and hopefully we see a return
Hopefully
from Little Mix in the
Tiny
future.
Mix can carry on.
Tiny, the tiny.
They've had
Tiny
to
Mix.
rename, obviously.
Yeah, some great tunes over the years. Some very good songs.
Yeah.
It'd be a shame if that's the end of Little Mix.
Some absolute pop world bangers.
Some really good tunes. So yeah, we wish her well.
I feel like I really grew into myself when I stopped pretending that I didn't like Little Mix.
Yeah,
I think I've got to have a few drinks in me first, but
I
would listen to Little Mix anyway.
I don't like Little Mix, and
not even
Touch.
when you're dancing with your hands above your heads.
no,
Not
there's
even
much.
Your multiple heads that you've got.
There's far too many other songs that I'd rather be doing that to.
Right. I mean, we'll have to agree to disagree there, Yanni. Clearly wrong. And well, up until not long ago, that was the only news we had this week. It was a very slow news week.
So Newsweek.
Very slow news week, yeah. Not much has happened that we know of in the world of music. Probably has been, but not long ago.
We'd have to pay attention to know, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we would. We'd have to
Yeah.
actually give a shit. But not long ago, well, at some point today, I don't actually know exactly when it was, but there's been an
An hour ago, wasn't it?
Well, I saw the thing an hour ago. I don't know when it was reported, but it was today on NME.com anyway.
Reliable.
Primavera Sound Festival. I don't know if it's specifically Barcelona, but they've been doing some testing around being able to hold a festival without social distancing in the current situation of COVID. From what I understand from reading it, it involved very rapid testing and results for COVID. And they've done a trial and it went well, apparently.
Swimmingly.
So, Yanni and I, we have tickets for this. We did
See you there, ladies and gents.
see
That's
you there. We'll have a
that's
meet-up.
what we're getting at. You will see me and Liam dancing the night away to all the artists
There's so
on
many
the planet because they're all going to be
best
there.
Yeah, we had tickets for this year, which obviously got delayed to next year, but hopefully this sounds quite promising. Although it did get me thinking that obviously, if you turn up to Barcelona, obviously for us that's a flight away, and you go and get tested, and it comes back with a positive result, it's that'd be quite a blow, really.
Yeah, but you'd have to get a test to know that, wouldn't you? So
Well, you're not getting in.
I'm
Otherwise.
gonna.
You're gonna fake
I
it.
don't know.
You're gonna take
Yeah, I'm
someone
gonna
else's
fake it.
piss with you and see if they'll accept that.
Why is it piss?
I don't know. That's what cyclists do, innit? I don't know. Something like that.
Yeah.
They share piss.
Yeah,
or
scientists only deal with piss.
something. Cyclists, I said. You say scientists?
Is that not what Yanni said?
Oh, we said scientists. Oh, okay.
No, I did say. Why did you say
I
cyclists?
said, because that's what I said, cyclists from the beginning.
Why?
Because they do, they test their urine and stuff, I guess. I don't know.
No, but
I don't know, Yanni.
I know why they do that, but I don't know why you said cyclists, Liam.
Because they're the ones that get tested regularly with the...
And they're the ones that are mad for Primavera. I get it now. Yeah. Okay.
So we're going to
fine.
be cycling to Primavera, Barcelona. If you want to join us, it's a long journey. But yeah, if you
Sounds like you're inviting the whole of Barcelona.
please come with us. But yeah, if you get a positive testing, you've both, 1, got COVID-19, 2, can't go into the festival, and 3, basically stranded in Barcelona. I guess you'd have to go and shack up in a hotel until you get better because you've got COVID-19.
You'd have to. To be fair though, there's worse places you could isolate.
It's true.
As long as you have a balcony.
But the inside of a hotel room, well, yeah, if you have a balcony, to be fair.
A sweaty balcony. A
Get
sweaty
them
hotel room.
get them cheese Pringles, bit of Fanta Limon, lovely.
Yeah, man. Well,
Fanta Limon
that's if you've got
is
someone
the
with
best
you.
thing about a holiday.
That's if you've got someone with you, because I know if Yanni and I went and he tested positive and I didn't, he would be in that hotel room on his own. It's the reunion, Pavement reunion. I'm not missing that. Sorry, Yanni. Just so you know.
I would give you COVID. That's how much you mean to me.
Thank you so much.
It's all right. I just want to share these amazing times together.
As every day goes past, I regret more and more not getting a ticket.
Well, we made
you
it very
still
clear
can,
that you should
Can't you?
have got a ticket.
I don't think I'm pretty sure it's sold out.
Maybe there'll be some at some point, but we did ask many times, and
An abundance.
yeah,
I know.
Obscene amount of times.
Yeah, you definitely could have, and definitely should have, and it's one of the best lineups I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Actually, ever.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. Sorry, Cal.
It's all right. I'm sure you'll send me numerous videos.
Of course. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. You know me, what I'm like on the socials when I've had a few to drink. I cannot be stopped from posting online videos that I'll regret instantaneously.
Yeah. But that's the news. Yeah, Callum is an idiot for not getting tickets.
That is
breaking
that
news,
is the news.
or maybe you already knew it.
Yeah.
You should have. But yeah, I think that's it.
Well, damn. You know what?
Hot off the press.
Yeah.
Callum. Is it
Liam.
hot?
Colin, isn't it? It's Colin.
Is it hot, Callum? Callum. Tell me if it's
That
hot.
episode's not out yet. Yanni, people will be all confused. It's pretty warm in here. Yeah, the heating's on.
Yeah. What is it? Yeah. We're in half the press, Callum. We're not talking about the radiators. What have you listened to this week? And tell me, is it hot?
I have listened to Bombay Bicycle Club's I Had the Blues, but I Shook Them Loose, live at Brixton. Yeah, it was pretty alright. I think it was. I'd say it was between lukewarm and hot.
Okay. Warm.
What would we say? Tepid?
Tepid, yeah.
I would say warm. That's just warm, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty warm. Yeah, bit toasty.
What's tepid? What would you describe in
I
tepid?
don't know. I think
Isn't tepid
I don't
really
know.
hot? Like that's like piping, isn't it?
We've established
Get
previously
on
that you don't know what any word means. You just like to say it, and then you search the meaning of it afterwards.
Who can't?
Only slightly warm, lukewarm. It means exactly the same thing as lukewarm. So,
Oh, brilliant.
Perfect.
Never mind then.
so close enough, Liam.
I didn't
Tell us exactly, track for track, word for word, beat by beat, how this made you feel on the inside, Cal.
Well, I Had the Blues is home to a few of my favourite Bombay songs, such as Evening Morning, which I would say is probably my favourite. Maybe. Lamplight and Magnet, which I think are great tunes as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, this was recorded last year on their 10-year anniversary tour of this album.
This isn't.
I know
This wasn't recorded. I for some reason thought this was recorded like at the
Back in the
time
day.
of the album coming out.
no,
Oh, okay.
November 8th, 2019 to be precise.
That's your birthday. No, it's not.
Definitely
It's a
not.
month before your
Definitely
birthday.
not.
I remember it was 8.
Yeah.
I corrected myself before anyone else did.
Good friends.
So yeah, because there's a part of the album where they say, "Thanks for joining us. We're doing the album in full," and I thought that did sound weird if it was when the album came out. So that makes sense now. For anyone else that was confused, that's why.
I think
don't think
you're
anyone
the
else is
only
confused.
person in the world, Liam, who is confused.
Oh,
I know we kind of want to get out of the mindset of comparing every live album ever to Live Drugs because it's going to get very boring for
yeah.
the listeners of this podcast
But-
if we do it every week. But it's just not as good, is it? It's just not. I don't think any live album will be ever
Tell us, Carl, how was it
in
compared
terms of
to
quality.
Arctic Monkeys live album?
Well, in the same vein as the Arctic Monkeys album, it depicts a live recording better, I think, because it was actually a full show, whereas like the Live Drugs one was handpicked.
Okay.
It was great how they
Yep.
it was great how they molded it together, but I think it was made to sound amazing.
So forget about
Whereas-
Live Drugs. Compare
Yeah.
Monkeys and
Whereas this one, I think Monkey sounded better, to be honest.
interesting.
I would
Yeah, I
disagree,
would also disagree.
but
Yeah.
it's not my turn to speak yet. So
It's not. Please.
Well, I
don't.
just think I know it's kind of I don't know. It just a lot of it sounded quite like muddy. I thought in places. I don't know if that's like my headphones or my speaker or whatever, but I just didn't.
you've got to stop shoveling mud in your ears, mate.
Listen, you need to stay out the garden, especially in this weather. It's not good.
Yeah, I just thought going into the album, watching them on KEXP. I'm sure we've all seen that session that they did
Yeah.
during
That is
I
the
don't think
phenomenal.
third album.
Don't think.
Oh, Liam, mate,
From which album?
honest to God,
What?
the third album. I know you weren't that keen on it.
Which was the third album?
Not the third. Yeah, was it the third album? The
Third
one
or
with
fourth?
Carry Me, and Luna on.
Home by
The
now.
name.
See you long, so later, so long.
Yeah, so long. See you tomorrow.
No, it's
Oh,
not. The third album's a different kind of fix.
Well, fourth album then.
If you don't include Flaws, it's the third album. I don't know why you wouldn't.
Carry on,
Okay.
Carl.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, after I've listened to that many times in my life, and I was kind of expecting it to live up to that standard. I know that's a bit unrealistic because it won't be the same people doing the mix. But I just think it kind of like hampered my thoughts and feelings on the album as a whole, if that kind of makes any sense.
Yeah.
But as with live albums, I already know the tunes. It's a great album. I really like the tunes. So I'd still give it a 4 out of 5.
Solid.
I'd agree with you.
But I just think I was kind of expected a bit more, but I think that might have been a bit unrealistic, which I accept.
Well, seeing as you've given your rating now, me and Liam have free reign.
Yeah,
I thought it sounded fantastic.
Yeah.
I loved how heavy the bass was in
Yes.
Magnet, Even in the
Mhm.
Morning.
Yes.
The intro, Emergency Contraception Blues, sounded great. And yeah, I think this sounded better than the Monkeys album. Like, the guitars sounded great. The bass, like I said, sounds great. Drums all sounded fantastic. And they obviously have like samples in the background, with like always like this, that beginning like pad sound. It all worked very, very well together. It just fit so nicely.
Yeah.
I was loving it all the way through.
Yeah, I agree. I think compared to Arctic Monkeys, the mix is a lot more consistent. And yeah, the bass, Evening Morning's one of my favourite Bombay songs, and the bass in that just sounded so good. I was listening to it in the car just before, and obviously car speakers aren't great for bass anyway. They tend to, you can hear the rumble of like the panels and stuff, but it still sounds really good. Ghost sounds really good as well. And I think the comparison to admittedly, I don't think I've seen the KEXP video you're talking about, but they always sound fantastic. Like the sound engineer on those are incredible.
Yeah.
And obviously it's studio live kind of thing, those, whereas this is clearly on stage. But
This is live.
yeah, but it's great to hear like people like sing along to certain parts and like bits.
Yeah, that was good.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I like that.
What's the line? I can't remember what the line is, but yeah, I really liked it. There's one line
It
that
always like this.
No, it wasn't always like this. It was.
Is it Magnet? Oh no, was it? Fuck, we should have this up in front of us.
I can't remember what it was. I thought it was Evening Morning, but I'm looking at the lyrics and I don't think it was.
Well, this is great.
But yeah.
But what point were you making?
Sorry, no, I wasn't. That came into my mind and I wasn't ready for it. But yeah, I think it was.
Lamplight?
No, sorry. Carry on. I'll try and work on the background. But it was good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a well recorded live record.
I did enjoy it. I just think I set myself far too high expectations, and that's kind of like hindered my thought process on it. But like I said before, Evening Morning and Magnet particularly were my two standouts on this, but they're my two favourite tracks off the studio album, so I'm not really surprised by that.
Yeah, I would. I'm just gonna say something. I would. Sorry, Liam, shut up. No, I won't be going back and listening to this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I prefer to just listen to studio albums. So I've only listened to this for the sake of the podcast, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
But I will never return to this album ever again.
Yeah. Well, I believe that Santa is bringing me this record.
Oh.
But it's the deluxe version, which has got the studio album in it as well.
Nice.
Oh. Tasty.
Which is that's the only reason I bought this version, because I'm not really asked about the live version on vinyl, but I thought for the sake of like £4 more, I'll get 2 albums.
Yeah.
So that's why I did it.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine I'll ever put the live one on. I won't lie.
Like you said, Yanni, it's a weird one about doing a live album. It's just the album, because it's different to Live Drugs and Arctic Monkeys in that they've put songs from across their whole time on the album, whereas this is just that album. Is it in the same order? I didn't actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then you just, it's fun once, and then after that, what's the point? The song, for some reason, I did listen to this in full once, and then when I was driving before, I put a few of my already favourites on to hear them. I forgot to put Magnet on, which is stupid, so I don't know what that sounded like. But
it was very stupid.
The line I was thinking of was in Ghost, and it's the line that says, "You just fly straight up and calm the fuck down," which I know is when I'm listening, I like that line, and I don't know why I noticed. Maybe that's why, but the crowd sang along a lot like louder at that point.
It's because it's a naughty word.
It's a naughty word.
Yeah,
but
really
that was fun. I liked that. It was nice. It felt comforting. So yeah, it's nice to hear it in this environment.
That's lovely. But yeah, to round that album up, I reckon a 4 out of 5 is fair.
Agreed.
Do you boys agree? Yeah.
You'll hear no argument from me.
I'd like to see him live.
Lovely. Yeah, I've actually put that in my notes.
Same.
Like I would like to see them live. I think
that
me and
last
Yanni.
album as well.
We said, we're definitely going to go see this. And
Yeah,
then,
we just never did.
That's
I think. Wait, when was it again?
I think that's why we wanted to, but I think we didn't, because it was just I Had the Blues. I Had the Blues. It wasn't everything. Whereas I'm not really interested
But
in
when
just
was it
seeing
again?
one album. Last November.
Okay, yeah. I was just thinking about time as a concept, and is it even real? So, Liam, what did you get to listen to this week? And again, on the insides, did they tingle or did they burn?
My insides were just standard kind of. You've had a good bag of Doritos. Happy.
What flavour?
Tangy. Probably cheese, yeah. I mean, I prefer chili heatwave, but I had nice cheese and I enjoyed the cheese flavour.
Okay.
That was me. Sorry, you asked about music or something?
That's what I'm here for, mate.
Oh, okay. I listened to Foster the People's new EP, In the Darkest of Night, Let the Birds Sing. I've not listened to Foster the People since Pumped Up Kicks and a few singles around and after there. So this was kind of fresh territory. but it was recognisable already as Foster the People. Quite interesting, quite different to what I was expecting, and quite a mix of styles. So it starts off with the song "Walk with a Big Stick," which is a fun song.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, I don't.
He's talking about his penis.
I thought it sounded really good. I liked the sound. There was like a nice, it's a good song. I don't really know much more to say, but it was a nice I guess maybe it was the like a not a middle eight. What do they call them? Yeah, middle eight. A bridge. It sounded very Beach Boysy, or maybe it was a pre-chorus, which I thought was interesting. I was like, it was quite Beach Boysy, and didn't not that it didn't fit, but it wasn't expected. And then it goes into the song Cadillac, which I liked. It reminded me of some Bowie stuff, or at least what I think of. Or maybe it reminds me more of Flight of the Conchords version of Bowie. So a parody of Bowie.
Bowie's in space.
Exactly, yeah. So it kind of, I don't listen to much Bowie, but it kind of reminded me of that. I was a big fan of the bass and the vocal style on that song. Maybe Mini Mansions, actually, kind of was more what it's like.
I got that. Yep, I got that exact.
Maybe that's more what it's like.
Comparison as well.
Then the next song, Lamb's Wool, really liked that again. Reminded me of some early Tame Impala in parts. Definitely vocally.
Yep. Yes.
I put that. Not to butt across you, but I put sounds quite early Tame Impala without as much songwriting ability.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
This guy used to write for adverts. If anything, he's got a lot of songwriting capability.
I would say I think it's different songwriting ability, but I know what you mean. It definitely is early Tame Impala vibes for sure.
There was a bit where it like dropped, if I remembered correctly, and that's when I got like, when like he normally washes you over with synth and stuff,
right?
And a drop. I got that at one point in, I believe it must be that song if we've all made the Tame Impala comparison. But yeah, so the rest of Liam's thoughts, I'm gonna just say them. He quite liked it.
He's gonna take the floor from me.
You know what? No, I'm losing him. We're gonna have to go back. Ian, can you speak on his behalf?
I'm chiming in here for Liam's thoughts on the album. He's gone through half of it. This is the last half. Did mention it was an EP, didn't I? It's only 6 songs.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Yanni.
It's all right,
the next one, The Things We Do, I put is a bop. Bit of Callum choice of word there.
Lingo.
Again, a bit of Bowie towards the end, I guess. It kind of there's like a point towards the end where he starts singing like Bowie, and then some fucking weird auto-tune stuff happens, and yeah, ends a bit weird. But the song itself was pretty cool. Next song, Under the Moon, a very strong Smiths vibe at first. Very strong Smiths vibe. Although I did read somewhere that someone compared it to Billy Idol, and then I was thinking maybe actually that's maybe closer. And I know that doesn't seem to make sense, but if you listen to it, you might see where both of those ideas come from. But I really like the chorus on that one. And then the last track, Your Heart Is My Home. Wasn't a huge fan of that, to be honest, but and a nice bass line towards the end, and then it finishes on synths, and it ends the EP quite nicely, I thought. So overall, some great bass lines, some lovely melodies. It messes around with a number of different styles and influences, but still, as I said before, recognisable as Foster the People. He's got a very high voice, hasn't he?
He has, yes.
Very high voice, but these different, like the ones where he sounds like Morrissey and sounds like Bowie and stuff. It was cool to see that messing around with that. I think they've come a long way since. Is it called Knocked Up Kicks?
Pumped Up Kicks.
Why have I written? I've written down Knocked Up Kicks here. I said Pumped Up Kicks before, didn't I?
You did.
That was off the dome. That first one was off the dome. I've written it down as Knocked Up Kicks, but it's come a long way since Pumped Up Kicks. And
no, it's Knocked Up Kicks, isn't it?
Knocked Up Kicks, and come a long way since like that early stuff. But in a good way, I think. But I can see it potentially not being everyone's cup of tea. Guess it's hard for an EP because there wasn't much room for bad stuff. But I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. I'd say. But nothing wrong with it. Just
Nothing that was overly amazing.
yeah,
either.
it was good though.
Yeah.
It was probably it was like a strong. If it was out of 10, it'd be a 7. Whatever.
Well, I agree with most of your points. That the bass lines grabbed me as well.
Mm-hmm.
There were some good bass lines on there. And you know what? I'm not going to argue with it because you've been almost spot on with everything you said, mate.
Thank you so much. And
It's
thank you for facilitating my thoughts in such a
Someone has
wonderful
to.
manner. Carl, did you listen to it?
What did you?
Go on, you going to say something?
Yeah, I did listen to it, but I mean, nothing really stood out to me too much. I noticed the comparisons to Tame Impala and Mini Mansions a bit, but you two have alluded to that previously.
Hey, we've used the word.
Whee. So yeah, I've got nothing new to add to the conversation.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, but like you say,
Give it a listen, guys.
yeah.
That's in
Yanni,
order.
Hello. What did you
welcome
listen
to
my
the
friend?
Fools on the Hill
It
podcast.
sounds like the intro again.
I had the pleasure, that's right, changed my mind,
Ooh.
of listening to Kid Cudi's latest release, the third in the trilogy, the finale, Man on the Moon 3, The Chosen. I've got a glass like that, Liam.
Yeah, we stormed together, mate, from the pub. You remember that?
Yeah.
I've got
Yeah, I
2.
do, yeah. Did you?
Yeah, we took 3.
One
and
for
I
each
kept
arm?
2 of them.
Can I have one?
No. And on that note, that's all we have time for. No, I started off listening to this album, as you do for a podcast that you have to listen to music on, and I didn't know how I felt about it. So I'm glad that I decided to listen to it quite earlier on in the week, or the relative week for us in terms of recording, because now it has grown on me quite significantly. And a lot of the tunes will be going on my Kid Cudi playlist. I've been a fan of him for a while.
But if anyone's music's going on that playlist,
It's going to be
Kid
his.
Cudi's.
Yeah,
It does make the most sense, to be honest.
it does.
Good job, Yanni.
Yeah, thanks guys. Really appreciate this. Really, thank you. I've read comparisons that it's to Travis Scott, which I agree with. The first half sounds very much like a Travis Scott album, which is going to go right over your two heads.
I've heard Travis
Travi.
World, is it?
Travis Scott. Astro World.
Astro World, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so much I care.
Travis World.
Travis World. I listen to that.
Yeah, he does a lot of ad-libs that sound pretty much like it's Travis Scott. The instrumentals are near enough the same in some of them, but quite spacey as opposed to kind of tripping balls, man. And standouts, there's quite a few to be honest with you. It gets better in the second half for me personally, but I really like She Knows This. It has a really good sample of Scott Pilgrim at the start of it, and as soon as that finishes and it comes in with the so obnoxiously loud at 808, it's fantastic. I love it. And then the next standout is Show Out, which is a really odd beat for Kid Cudi to be on, like a drill beat, UK drill beat, but it works. And Skepta's verse is very good. Comparing the size of his guns to the size of Kevin Hart is hilarious.
That was great.
I really enjoyed that one. And then Mr. Solo Dolo 3. As you can imagine, he's had Mr. Solo Dolos on the previous 2 Man on the Moon outings. September 16th is probably my favourite track off the whole album. It's just really calm. Probably not what you'd expect me to like, guys, because you think that I get bored quite easily, and I do. But this track just takes me to the right place, you know?
I think I turned this one off, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
I'm there. The Void, also I liked it. And then Loving Me, featuring Phoebe Bridges.
Yep.
And that was good. The two, obviously, Kid Cudi is known for doing his hums. And at the end, him and Phoebe do go between each other doing the hums and stuff, and it sounds very nice. It works perfectly together. I can't talk about that because it's not happened yet in your timeline. What? So confusing. But
It's
Phoebe
like
Bridgers'
Marvel.
Her voice in this is very good. It's very nice. I like her voice. And Lord I Know, I enjoyed that, and it has a little teaser at the end. To be continued. So maybe it isn't the finale, or maybe it's just alluding to the fact that there'll be more Cudi music
in another 10 years.
But yeah, I really liked it. In comparison to the other two Man on the Moon albums, obviously nostalgia plays a heavy part in my thoughts on those, so it's not surpassed them, but it definitely is fitting with them. And if you like Cudi, you're gonna like this. To me, out of 5, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5.
Wow.
Because there are a couple of songs where I'm just like, I could do without this. So it's not perfect, but the songs I like, they've really stuck with me, and I've had them on non-stop. So
that's 2 4 out of 5s you got there. I feel like my 3 was
crazy, bro. Crazy. I'm losing my mind.
I'll give you my thoughts now.
Oh, Liam, yeah, what did you think, Liam? Liam, what did you think?
Hi there, my name's Liam. This is my thoughts. This is my fault. I listened. So, I guess I haven't really listened to much Kid Cudi, apart from a few of the hits, I guess. And on first listen to this, I had had it on in the background without paying much attention. It wasn't what I expected from him.
Yeah, that was my initial thought, but then, well, as I stated previously,
you've stated. But yeah, I didn't really. I just wasn't. Nothing stuck out to me the first time round, and then you sent some. Well, basically all the ones you just mentioned. You sent those over as your highlights, and again, nothing there. Just none of it really stood out to me, really. And in terms of the instrumentals, in terms of his, I guess I wasn't paying much attention to the lyrics, but his flow and stuff, it just wasn't really much for me. I did really like the Phoebe Bridgers one, and not even just because of Phoebe Bridgers. I just like his melody and stuff. The song is just really good, and her voice is incredible. But yeah, for me, sadly, the rest just didn't stick. I guess if on more listens, it possibly could. But it's a big album, isn't it? It's a long one.
Yeah, that's the problem with all these like modern rap albums, is they just put too many songs on because they know that the more they have on one thing, the more streams they'll get overall, because people will listen to every single song, and that can backfire massively. Sometimes, in very rare occasions, having that many songs is a blessing. In this case, I don't think it is. Like I say, there's a couple of throwaway songs on there. I didn't like the one with Trippie Redd. I thought that was just a bit too, well, typical and shit.
It's probably because it was Trippie Redd.
Yeah. And Callum, I'm interested. Did you even listen to this, or?
I listened to the ones that you told me to listen to because I was running out of time a little bit, like Tyler the Creator. I particularly liked Show Out and Loving Me, the two that you both have said were your highlights. I particularly like the melody on Loving Me. But yeah, I wasn't really that bothered about the other ones you sent me. She Knows This was good, but I can't remember the other ones. Was it Sept 16?
Yeah, I didn't really expect you two to like that one, to be honest with you.
And Mr.
Solo Dolo.
That one. It was alright. But I genuinely think I'll listen to Show Out and Loving Me a lot going forward.
So Shout Out for me, Skepta's verse was hard.
Shout Out.
Shout Out.
Skepta always seems to go hard on everything he's on, but I didn't like the rest of the song. Didn't do anything for me.
It went significantly downhill after Skepta. Not significantly, that's harsh, but if you're gonna have Skepta on your song, don't put him first. That's my advice.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's a good rule to live by.
That is.
And that's that's our main picks, isn't it, gang? Now we've got a couple of individual tracks that we're gonna discuss, talk about.
From Shingles.
Some shingles. We'll go in order of whatever we decide to say. So the first one is Bull, Love, Goo. What did everyone think? I thought it was alright. Oh,
Yeah,
to be honest,
it was
the rest
decent.
of these, if I liked them, I won't be listening to it again, just because I was like, yeah, it's fine, it does the job, but nothing special. And then the ones that I did not like, I will obviously never be listening to. My voice broke. Wow. Hello.
You fixed it.
Go on, Liam. Yes.
I liked it. I like Bull's other stuff. I really liked Love Goo.
Yeah, I've not listened to Bull before. Thought it was a decent tune.
Yeah, listen to the other stuff. It's good.
Yeah.
All, you know, it's all. I think everything they put out has been pretty good so far. So
Decent. Looking
Yeah.
forward to more stuff. If it's in the same vein as Love Goo, it'll be pretty enjoyable.
yeah, man.
Decent. Next one we have Unschooling with 12/Don't Sneeze.
Yeah, sorry.
Is that
This was a mistake from me. Because of
Oh,
the way,
that sounds about right.
because of the way Spotify do singles and stuff. Only Don't Sneeze is new this week.
Oh, well, that's good because 12 was the one I liked a lot more.
Oh, great.
I didn't like these songs that much. I thought the mixing wasn't very good.
The mixing was bad.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what I felt about them. I've only listened to them like twice, and the first time round I was like, oh, not really, and then I put Don't Sneeze on again, and I was like, oh, this is good. So I don't actually know where I'm actually going to land on it once I've listened to it a few more times, but yeah, promising. Callum, you liked it, Ian? You're a big fan?
Yeah, I
of
did
these
like it, yeah. I wouldn't say I was a big fan, but I enjoyed it. I mean, I'll be intrigued to see what they do going forward, and I'll keep
Yeah.
a keen ear out.
for sure.
But yeah, it was decent. I wouldn't say it was anything remarkable, but enjoyable nonetheless. Next up, we have George's cover of "Running Up That Hill."
Shite.
Wow. I wouldn't say it was shite.
Don't cover this song.
Just
It's
don't mess
perfect.
with it. Don't mess
It's
with it.
perfect. You don't need to make it.
Apart from
Any
that
different?
band, who were they, Liam?
Oh, don't.
That's
Oh, sorry.
on
Please
YouTube.
don't mention it because it breaks my
Sorry,
heart. That thing
yeah.
doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's our lie.
that was great.
That's the only acceptable
Bloody
cover of the
wyo.
song.
Let's fill in some gaps here. There's a YouTube channel called AV Club where bands go and do covers of songs, and I guess that's as much information you need on that. And then not many years ago, but a few years ago, I guess,
Many moons ago.
a band called Y Oak, which I don't really know much apart from this, but they did a cover of Run Up That Hill, Deal With God by Kate Bush, with the singer, who's a lady, playing the bass and singing.
They can
And
sing now.
shut up. And the drummer, he was playing drums and playing the keys at the same time.
That's good for him, isn't
Uh, he was multitasking. They were both like playing bass and singing.
No way.
tough enough.
He's a man. You can't.
Drumming and playing keys. But it was just an unbelievable cover. It was such a good cover. And they took it down. AV Club, for some reason, took it down. And I've scoured the internet. Can't find it.
I really hope Georgia has to take this down.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I agree, Yanni. No, I think it's not a bad cover. It sounds fine. It sounds not too dissimilar to the original with a few extra bits in, but
it's
Kate
not
Bush's-
that it's not different enough
Yeah.
to be. It doesn't do. Yeah, it doesn't
There's no
change it
point.
up enough.
Mm.
There's no point to it.
There's no
It's
point.
an
Yeah.
irrelevant cover.
I wrote that I enjoyed it, and I like George's other
Yep.
other music, especially her album this year, Seeking Thrills. But as you say, it's not. There's nothing new to it, is there?
And that song,
It's good enough, but it's like
A heavier bass drum, kick drum. That's it.
that song, that original is just the pinnacle
Yeah.
of music.
Of a song by Kate Bush.
We should have been called Fools Running Up a Hill.
Ugh. That's our
I
Kate Bush
actually believe
special.
that now. Yeah, when we do a Kate Bush special. So we just sing karaoke. Kate Bush and karaoke. The whole episode.
Yes, and interpreted dance.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next one, Jack Johnson, Liam.
Jack Johnson, yeah. So apologies for this one. This actually should have been
We
on.
skipped one.
We've skipped a couple, and he's throwing round. We know where we are. We've missed.
Do we?
We've skipped this one as well.
Yeah, it's seamless to people that weren't listening.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Carry on. Yeah, Jack Johnson. This single came out. Should have been on last week's episode.
Have you done anything right this week, mate?
Not
We
really.
can't talk about this then, can we?
I don't know how. Like, I don't know why this. I guess Jack Johnson's not released anything, but I don't know why I didn't notice this. And somehow, like, I just happened to search for Jack Johnson because we're coming to the end of the year. Just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. For a number of reasons. I just wanted to check if he'd released anything, and he had, like, literally last week, which was weird. But this track, The Captain is Drunk, I really like it. It's very chilled. It reminds me of To the Sea album. A lot more laid back than his more recent stuff, I think.
Yeah, and there's heavy metal stuff that Jack Johnson does.
Yeah, the thrasher metal stuff. Jack Johnson in the loaded diaper. I don't know what joke that was. I don't know where that came.
What?
Is that a band of Simpsons or something? Anyway.
I have no idea.
Yeah, no, it's more like the last album was quite political in places, and it's just a bit more upbeat, whereas this was quite laid back. Fairly simple, but he's got a great voice. The guitar's really good. He's just a great musician. So I'm looking forward to hopefully this. If there's an album in this vein, a nice, chilled, laid back Jack Johnson that we haven't seen for a little while, that'd be nice. I love Jack Johnson.
Lovely.
Love Jack Johnson.
I know you do, Liam. I know you love him. I did not listen to this, so I'm sorry, but it is from last week, so I'm not sorry.
Carl, did you listen to it?
Yeah, I like Jack Johnson's voice. Nice enough song. Decent.
Thanks.
Didn't offend you.
Didn't offend. Didn't grab me either, though.
The next one is Pale Waves. She's My Religion. This was not good either. Really boring. Shit. Anyone else got anything better to say?
I mean, at this point, it's exactly what you expect from a Pale Waves tune, isn't it? I like lead singer's voice. I still maintain it could be something Avril Lavigne did in 2002, but not as good.
Who's panicking on this notion thing by like mixing them around?
Oh, I'm just putting them in. I'm just putting them in like a final order because I think this seems like a fair order.
That this was going to be the order. I just want
to put it down. Stop talking. Stop breaking the fourth wall. I thought it was a fine song. It was better than I expected from Pale Waves. It's same as the last single we talked about some years ago. Change, somewhat better than I expected, but I mean, I'd be interested to see what a new album would sound like, but
probably like everything else.
The best. It's not the greatest thing since cooked bread. Yeah. But I'll tell you what is the best thing since cooked bread.
I love cooked bread.
Sliced bread.
I'll tell you what is the best thing since freshly baked bread.
Toast.
Drag queens. And we have the best of the British drag queen scene, Frock Destroyers, and then
Justice for Cheryl.
Then I guess it's an EP, really. It's not really an album. But Frock for Life. What do you think?
Didn't listen to it.
I didn't listen to that either.
Well, it's good, so I'll just carry this. So it had a few interludes called Frockmatica, which I think is a nod to Lady Gaga's last album, Chromatica, maybe. There's 3 of those, and they're all like kind of orchestral, really weird, don't really fit in at all, but quite dramatic and fit in with the idea of drag queens being very dramatic. The song Her Majesty, I actually quite like this. This is what you said, Callum, last time about this single Big Ben, is that they're like pre-drink songs, and yeah, I think that's fair. So you've got the song Her Majesty, Big Ben, Fame Whore, and Frock for Life, and How's the Lighting? Although I don't know if I remember that one. But the yeah, I mean, it's the lyrics are bad. Singing's not great. The music's kind of heavy, weirdly. But it's drag queen music. Drag queen music sounds the same. It all sounds the same. Yeah, quite liked Her Majesty. I thought Her Majesty was alright.
Decent.
It's got a good tune. And
Decent
Break Up
indeed.
Bye Bye's on there as well. 2 versions, although I didn't listen to the second version. And Break Up Bye Bye is a good song.
So the next track after that was by King Gizzard. If not now, then when?
When what?
When will it happen? When will they stop making microtonal songs? That's what I want to know. Jesus. This was not very good.
No,
Yeah.
I'm glad
Portal,
you think this
You go
because
first.
I just feel like I'm missing something when it comes to King Gizzard.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm supposed to like them, but from what I've heard, I just don't.
I agree with that.
And I'm quite glad to know
Yeah.
that you two don't really. I'm glad it's not me. I'm glad it's a.
The odd song I do, but I'm not crazy
Mm.
over them at all.
I'm sure because
yeah,
they've got like
you.
how many albums have they got? About 40,000.
6,020.
Just shy of 45,000.
Like I'm sure there'll be some
86.
tunes in there.
Yeah,
I'm sure there'll be some tunes in there that I like, but I just
They're a jam band, aren't they? So like there are parts of songs while they're jamming. There's little bits that sound good, but
Strawberry.
there's not many.
Raspberry.
For me, there's not many songs that sound good as a whole song. Although I'm going to throw a curveball here. I agree that I feel like I'm missing something with KG and the LW. But I quite like this track. I think it's quite different to everything they've done from what I've heard.
When it stopped being like the manic intro and then went into it, I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Yep.
But then it just didn't do anything more for me, unfortunately. And then just got a bit like, oh, I've listened to this already. Stop doing this now.
I wrote, love the break. So after that big build-up you mentioned, which is all guitar and kind of quite an interesting thing that the last song from the latest album, KG, which is The Hungry Wolf of Fate, rolls into this song perfectly. It was done on purpose, which is quite cool.
Mm-hmm.
So it continues with that kind of guitar loud build-up, and then it just stops dead. Like there's a very split second of like dead silence before the kind of, what would you call it, like electronic kind of thing comes in.
Yeah.
And I very, very much like that. And then I like the rest of the song in terms of the music. And I like his singing, like in the kind of microtonal way. And I think there's maybe a guitar that matches that. But you can't hear a word he says. But if you look up the lyrics, the lyrics are not necessarily good. They're not known for having great lyrics. But it's about like the climate change and the world kind of thing. It's pretty good lyrics. And I think it's actually a bit of a shame that you can't hear them properly. Like at all. I couldn't anyway. I don't know if it's just me. But I kind of liked it. I would listen to it. I've listened to it a few times, so I quite like it.
Well, thank you for your opinion.
Thank you so much.
And we've saved the best till last.
Right, let me get. Can I get in this one first before you two?
Yeah, by all means, please.
Shit all over it.
You don't know that.
I'm
definitely going to shit all over it.
So, Viagra Boys.
Should we take some again?
Sorry? Yeah, let's take. Yeah, why not? If you've got some, pass it around. Have released a cover of John Prine's song "In Spite of Ourselves." John Prine and someone I'm not sure who it was featuring. Sorry, apologies, but a female artist. John Prine, who sadly passed away earlier this year. I've seen quite a few like covers and stuff of his music since then. I know Kurt Weill did a song with him that was quite good.
All right.
Obviously, I'd never heard of him personally, but obviously quite influential for a lot of kind of American musicians. Although Viagra Boys, the singer's American, but the rest are Swedish. But anyway, so this song, "In Spite of Ourselves," is a cover of a John Prine song, and features Amy Taylor from Amyl and the Sniffers, the Australian band. I liked it. I like it. I like the song. I like the differences to the original. I like the chorus at the end. I like the instrumental. I think it's weird and wacky. It's very wacky. Okay, wacky is a weird word to use, but yeah. I did read, I may be wrong, but this is the closer on their album, I think, which kind of fits in terms of tone as a last song on an album. It feels like a hurrah.
It'll make me want to turn it off.
I like the lyric. Obviously, the lyrics aren't theirs. The lyrics are John Prine's, but there's some funny words there. And I don't like it as much as Creatures, the last single, which I still think is one of the best songs of this year. But I liked it, and the video's funny. Please tell me what you think. I'm gonna go and cry.
Oh God, it's crap. Oh
I
my
don't,
God.
why is it crap though? What do you mean? Tell me more.
What is it?
It's
I've
Viagra Boy
got
style on a country song. It's gonna be weird. It's not gonna work.
I've got absolutely no in-depth insight into this. It was bad. I'm sorry, Liam. I know I like to jest about your little affairs with Viagra Boys and Black Country New Road, but I didn't know if I was like completely encapsulated or just completely disgusted with what I'd heard. I did go back and listen to the original, and in fairness, I suppose it's a good cover. I can't deny that.
Yeah, what they've done is quite good with it, I think.
Yeah, I'm not denying that.
But you don't like it?
Fucking hell, no! I'm never gonna. If we listen to this album when it's released, I am not listening to that song again.
Oh, great. What do you think of? Sorry, Yanni, give us your opinions. I've got a question after that, though.
Wank. I hated it. It made me feel disgusting.
It does make you feel grimy.
It makes me feel really grimy, yeah, and horrible.
I really do feel like that's what if you listen to their first album, it feels grimy the whole way through.
I know that's the style. That's what they're gonna go for. But I did not like it. It wasn't funny enough to be a comedy song, but there were little bits of humour in it, and it wasn't good enough for me to want to listen to it ever again.
That's fair enough. I think the original is quite heartwarming, and those funny lyrics seem, because it's like country and it's an old guy, they seem quite like heartwarming, but kind of like cute. Cute.
Sorry, would you describe it as heartwarming?
The original. I'm sorry, I'm talking about the original. So like those funny lyrics.
Yeah, but you'd use the word heartwarming though, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know what the word is. It's not cute, but it's it's sweet.
Crap.
Almost. I'm talking about the original version and the lyrics in that sense. And I think when you put it into this environment with, I don't know what the fella's name from Viagra Boys is, but the guy from Viagra Boys and the girl from Amyl and the Sniffers, it does. Yeah. So I was just saying that. I know her name's Amy Taylor. It definitely takes on a level of grime. I appreciate that. But I like what they did with the cover. I like it when, like, towards the end of their lines, it kind of goes, I could be wrong, but like to the minor key instead of major. I thought that was quite interesting. But do you, either of you ever listen to Amyl and the Sniffers stuff?
No.
I did actually listen to some of the stuff after that song.
Okay.
Because I thought Amy Taylor was the best part of that song. And yeah, it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
It sounds like your typical warm-up act for a band that you're going to see live. That's what they sound like to me.
They're very, short punk songs, I guess, and that's never really appealed to me much. But Callum, as well, I guess to both of you then, you've just said, Yanni, how you feel, but Callum, what did you think about specifically Amy, hearing Amy for the first time, I guess?
I would say Amy was the highlight of the song.
Okay, interesting.
Whoa, there's that for it, eh?
No, I know, but I'd also like to stress that I wouldn't necessarily claim that as a compliment.
Okay, fair enough. Thanks, guys. Thanks very much. I hope you they bring more music out that you like, because I think they're a great band.
I liked Creatures.
See that in the distance, guys? Can you see that? It's coming in. I think it's getting brighter, you know.
Yeah.
There's a light there, and shining beneath that light, I think there's an album, you know.
Is it?
Oh my god! oh my god! It's massive. Oh, it's huge. Oh no, it's the album spotlight.
So this week's album spotlight is Evermore by Taylor Swift. Is it her ninth album, Liam?
What?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, mate, go home.
I don't know what that was supposed to be. It sounded like you said Emma Moore, and I thought of the closest name to that and tried to correct you as a joke, and it was Demi Moore, and it didn't work. So, sorry, Callum, what?
Is it her ninth
I
album?
embarrassed myself there, haven't I? Is it the 9th album?
Yeah.
Could be. She had a lot of albums.
Anyway, it's the sister album to Folklore that was released earlier in the year. Liam and I are going to give you a quick little
rendition.
Go on,
we're
Hurst.
going to give
album.
you a little insight into our thoughts on that album before we divulge into Evermore, because I believe, has Yanni listened to Folklore?
Yanni has not listened to Folklore, no.
Folklore. Callum, I'd like to. I want to flip this back on you though, because I believe you were a first-time listener to Folklore this week for this. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts on Folklore.
Well, I listened to Folklore for the first time when I think it was last Thursday when Taylor announced Evermore. But I didn't get very far. I didn't get very far through it because I was busy.
Of course.
But I put it on last night, trying to get to sleep, and I really enjoyed it. So I stayed awake listening to it.
Nice.
Which I think is a good sign. Like, I actively tried to stay awake. I did not like Seven or Betty. They were not good songs. I apologise to any Taylor Swift fans. They're not good songs.
There were quite a few.
I think quite a few times it was very poor lyrically.
Yeah.
I think sometimes this will go into Evermore as well. Taylor tries to just fit things either melodically or to rhyme, and it's just crap. And it was just too long, but that's besides the point. But despite that glowing review, I genuinely really liked it.
And that's Folklore was off my hair.
Yeah,
This is the album from earlier in the year.
Yeah. What did you think about Folklore?
I listened to it back in summer, when it first came out. I don't know why. Like, Taylor Swift had the odd good song, but there was something around this release that was quite interesting. Like, there seemed to be a bit of intrigue there, something different for old Swiftie. And I at the time really liked it, and I've listened since and really liked it. I can't really tell you much about it. It's very much one of those albums I just put on and didn't think about much, but I can't tell you much about anything individually, apart from I know I really like Exile with Bon Iver. But yeah, I can't really remember.
That was a highlight for me as well.
Yeah, that's a great song, but there's not much else that really I remember. But yeah, I liked it. It made me excited for Evermore for sure. It's long. Yeah. I agree with on Folklore still. Lyrically, you still get the sense, and I always got the sense of Taylor Swift that she was almost trying to be cool.
See, exactly my point. I don't think she's ever sworn before, has she? In her music, before Folklore.
I think she may have on like that album where she was like really edgy and she was like, Taylor Swift's dead now.
Yeah, see, I thought that, but on Spotify there was no explicit signs.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm looking,
which surprised me.
I'm looking, yeah.
And fair enough, if she wants to be, past the watershed. I don't know what the word is.
It.
Explicit.
Past the watershed.
Past the watershed.
If she wants to be explicit in her lyrics, feel free. It just sounds weird. I don't know if that's just me. It's just not right. She sounds like she's really pretentious, and I don't think that's the vibe she's going for.
I feel like she can have good lyrics, and the lyrics are like very different, and there's no one else kind of. I remember watching the Taylor Swift documentary, which definitely painted her in a different. Painted her in a different light.
How bored were you?
To be fair, it's quite a good documentary. I can't tell you what it's called, but it was about I guess this whole thing of her. She was portrayed as like, she'd only write talking about exes and stuff like that. And
was this the Folklore documentary? Sorry to butt across you.
It may have been
the one that's on Disney Plus.
It may be. I don't know.
Right. Okay.
But it definitely showed her in a different light and a lot more kind of personable than she seemed, I guess. And been through quite a bit of shit. But there's parts where she's writing lyrics and stuff, and it's quite interesting the way she kind of does that. But yeah, sometimes it comes out almost mechanic, but
Yeah.
because she's trying not to be. It's quite a weird kind of mix, and sometimes it lands and sometimes it doesn't land.
Yeah. But I think it's fair to say that me and you are both fans of folklore.
Oh yeah, I really like folklore.
Okay. So moving on to Evermore, because
Mm-hmm.
I can
Would
see
you
in the
guys
Zoom call that
say that
Yanni is
you
getting a
were
bit jittery.
stiff for Swift?
Moving swiftly on from that. Yanni, what are your thoughts on Evermore? Please enlighten me.
Oh, you're not going to be enlightened, my son. This is not my kind of thing at all. I didn't enjoy it. Just speaking on it because you've mentioned the word, and it's exactly how I felt, but didn't have the right. Can't speak apparently.
Can't put your finger on it.
Yes. She comes across as pretentious in no matter what she does. I just will always feel like she is coming across that way, and it makes me really not like anything that she does. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
It's so hard to put your finger on, isn't it?
But do you know what I mean though? Like she comes across like really pretentious, really pretentious.
But like I do think it is not intentional. Like I think she's trying to. I really think, especially in Folklore and Evermore, that she's trying not to be. Like she's actively trying not to be, which makes it worse.
Yeah, she's trying to get away from that kind of pop and kind of about romance in a very typical way that she was slandered for a while, and then. But yeah, like some of the lyrics are quite interesting and quite weirdly written, but in a kind of a good way.
Like a not cool kid trying to be cool is how I picture.
Almost
anyway,
like when Liam would come and play football at dinner time.
Yeah, but I was really good at football, obviously, so that slightly different.
Yeah,
slightly different.
Yeah, so I put not my kind of thing, but good instrumentation. Obviously, we're talking about an artist here who's got millions to spend when it comes to writing songs, so it's obviously going to sound good. Same goes for the Miley Cyrus record that we listened to. It was obviously going to sound good instrumentally. I thought it had a very slow start. Didn't really grab me immediately. I mean, nothing grabbed me, but the first two songs were not interesting at all to me until Gold Rush, and then I was a bit like, yeah, okay, maybe it can start to get a bit better from here. Didn't. And then Nobody No Crime sounded like it was going to be a James Blunt song.
What, from the
just
name?
Go back and listen to it.
Over the actual song?
The actual song, like the acoustic guitar, it just sounded very much like a James Blunt song, even though I don't listen to James Blunt.
Don't you?
No.
No.
And then, can you still hear me? I've not cut out have I at any point during that? No, okay, because Liam did for me.
Yeah, sorry, it just popped up saying my internet connection's unstable, so. But
right.
It's alright.
Okay. I like the bit crushed drums at the start of Closure. But then it just turned into a typical song, and I lost interest very quickly after that. I thought it was going to be more interesting than it was, because up until that point everything was very run of the mill. But then there was like abrasive, bit crushy, distorted drums came in. I was like, oh okay, what's going to happen here? And then it just became the same song that I've been listening to in the entire album. Bon Iver, even as Liam would say. Sounded great, obviously.
Yep.
When does he not sound good? I put standout track, even though I would never listen to it again, is Cowboy Like Me. That would be my standout. But overall, it's not my kind of thing, but I'm trying to be open-minded. So
that's good,
so we can ask for
really good.
it sounded well produced, obviously. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like it at all.
Well, we're proud of you, Yanni, for being open-minded. Really proud of you.
Thanks, Dad.
You've really grown.
What was your favourite track, Liam?
So, I may have alluded to this earlier, that I didn't really pay much attention when listening to this one. And I'll get into that in a second. I'll give you a favourite tune. The one that I remember, because I listened to it a couple of times, was the Haim one, which is No Body, No Crime. Which, I don't know if that's my favourite song, but that's the only one I remember, if I'm honest. Probably the Bon Iver song at the end, I quite liked. It sounded really weird. I feel like Dorothea,
That's
maybe?
just you.
The name Dorothea rings a bell. Listen, I don't know, and I guess that's a problem. But I'll tell you for why. Listening to this album, I guess this was a mistake, essentially. I listened to Folklore, and then not long after listened to Evermore. And as a fan of Folklore, it just doesn't stand up to it, I don't think. It's not as cohesive. I think there's something to, obviously, the title, Folklore, and there's something quite, oh god, this sounds so stupid. It feels like the album's creating, it's part of folklore. It seems like, mystical or something. I don't know, it's quite cohesive in that sense. But this doesn't feel like that at all. This feels a lot more kind of banded together. To me, from listening to it in full, I haven't done as a deeper dive as I should have, really. But I just kind of didn't want to. It's a long album. It's over an hour, I think, just over an hour.
I think it's bang on an hour.
Bang on an hour, maybe. But yeah, from the songs just kind of melded into one, whatever the phrase is. And yeah, it's hard to kick that comparison from Folklore. Even the Bon Iver song, Bon Iver, isn't as good as Exile. That was kind of one of the first things I went to check is that song was good. It's not really. I don't know. It feels like almost B-side. It feels like the extra run of tape at the end of the recording session, which I guess is essentially
a deluxe version. If Folklore had a deluxe version, these would be leftover tracks, or the ones that didn't make the main cut.
Essentially, and as I say, I'm somewhat uninformed in this, in the sense that I haven't given it as much time as I should have. But in my impressions of it, it doesn't quite hold up to Folklore.
Fair enough.
Colin, what do you think?
I mean, personally, my favourite track is Gold Rush. Yanni mentioned that before, but did you actually like that? Or because you mentioned about
a bit meh, but
you mentioned
up
about
until
the
that point on the
Yeah.
track list, I was like, oh god, this is going to be a painful listen through. And then that was the first song where my ears pricked up a bit. But yeah, overall, I still didn't really love it too much. But carry on.
I didn't really notice the lyrics being particularly as poor as I did on Folklore. When I noticed it on Folklore, I really noticed it. Whereas on Evermore, maybe it was just collectively worse. I don't know. But is Liam alive?
Yeah.
But no, it's just
I'm actually just because I feel really bad. I'm
Madam
actually
Tussauds.
listening to some of these songs.
We find ourselves at that segment of the evening. Is Liam alive?
But yeah, I noticed the lyrics were really bad in the No Body, No Crime with Haim at one point. She starts talking about a boating license and life insurance, and I don't know if it was the whole story of the song,
mystery,
but I was
it's kind of not a murder mystery.
I was just like, what the hell?
It does make sense.
What is going on?
What the hell?
But that was my biggest disappointment on the album, because when I saw that Haim were part of it, I was excited. And I'd also just like to say about Matt Berninger, because I think you all know I'm not really that mad
of
on
the National,
his voice or of the National, but I really think his voice worked well on Coney Island.
Yeah, I think I remember liking that one.
So there you go.
Just because it's come back to me. Wow, I'm there.
Okay?
She's one of those artists like Miley Cyrus when she swears in a song, it feels like she's trying to be cool.
Forced.
And it's never cool, and it's completely forced. Because I remember that was one of my immediate thoughts when I was listening to it. And I was like, oh, okay, she's sworn, great.
Yeah, see, that's why
Hope her mum doesn't listen.
That's why I mentioned it on my notes. I was like, it just felt odd. It didn't feel like it should be a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a grown woman. She can swear if she wants to, but it just, I don't know.
It didn't fit.
No. I think that all lends back into the trying to be cool, as you say.
Yeah.
coming across pretentious when she's trying.
I don't
actively
think
not to
I'll
be.
ever like her, and
Wow.
I can't put my finger on it.
I think
And I don't want to be horrible, because I'm not actively out here to hate people, except Liam, obviously.
Yep,
He's a cunt.
of course.
But yeah, she just really annoys me for some reason I can't put my finger on.
I think for someone that started off with country music and basically in the middle was pop, pure pop, and then here, I feel like she's landed in a good place musically. I still feel like she's lost as a songwriter, or at least lyrically. Isn't quite like, I feel like some of like the swearing and stuff probably should have started happening in like that Edgy album a couple of albums ago.
Yeah.
Like the fact it's starting
Did,
now seems weird. She just seems a bit like kind of lost in where she is.
I noticed a couple of times, and I'm not going to claim that I listened to the lyrics that intently, but it seemed like she was still singing from like the perspective she was when like she released Love Story and You Belong With Me. I don't know if it was like calling back to them type of songs, but I'm sure she mentioned something like kissing under the bleachers.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like she was singing from like an 18-year-old's point of view again. And I'm like, you're 30 now. Let's do something different.
Grow
Well, I think
up.
I think that kind of works though with the whole fairy tale thing, and like those songs are really good. Those like You Belong With Me, Teardrops on My Guitar, and stuff like that.
I remember singing
Love Story.
I remember singing that with you on guitar here earlier.
Yeah. I was playing it not long ago actually, singing along as I was playing. Yeah, I love You Belong With Me. But yeah, I feel like it kind of almost makes sense that she could write a song like Love Story now in this style, would still make sense, I guess, but it should be more mature in a way that it sometimes isn't necessarily.
Yes, Liam.
Thank you.
So right.
Thank you, Yanni.
So right. So we're gonna pass it around.
What you can do.
I'm just going to say now,
gonna...
just before we go, Range fans, I'd sit up now if I were you.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Be on the edge of your whatever you're on. Liam, out of
Don't
10.
come to me first.
How many fools? How many fools we giving this?
I don't know, and I don't think I'm going to give it a score, but I think it's unfair of me to give it a score. I'm still going to give one because, listen, I'm 1/3 of this podcast, and I don't care what anyone thinks. From what I've listened, I would give it a 6 out of 10.
Okay, Callum.
I concur. I know we're not talking about folklore. I think I'd give that a 7, and I'd give this a 6.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought I was going to be. I actually bumped mine up because I thought you were going to rate yours higher.
Yeah.
So now I'll just go back to my original planned score of 4 out of 10.
4. Okay. Heavy.
But
What was your bumped up one? 5?
Yeah. Because I thought that's middle ground. That's all right. But yeah, I mean, obviously these are all personal opinions. I just will never ever want to listen to this song ever again.
Nice.
Like ever.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't even mean to do that. It just flows out of me. Comedy genius.
Sorry, can we give it a 6?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So we need mode, Liam.
Mode.
Easy.
6.
Medium.
6.
Mean.
Mean is 5.3 recurring.
And then for all those range boys and girls and whatever you want to name yourself.
Everyone that's listening, please keep listening.
Everyone in between.
We
and above.
the range. The range is 2. It's a 2 for the range. So
Wow.
not as high,
Well, sorry to
to
get your hopes up, Range fans.
Although that is although that's a match with the Cribs album a few weeks ago. First episode, episode 1. If you haven't heard, that was also a 2 on the range. Although a higher mean for that. Interestingly.
Damn. Son, where'd you find that?
But there we are.
Well, Lovely.
Another album
I hope
has been spotlighted.
everyone
Spotlit.
exactly. I'm hope they can return her now to the moon from when she was dropped. Because that poor girl's been away from home
don't
for
even
far
remember
too long
what
in
that
those woods.
joke was.
So next
Segment. Segment.
Yeah, next segment is Under the Needle. So, we find ourselves in the midst of needles again. It's time for another tattoo. Liam, you're gonna get
what am I getting this on?
tatted up, baby.
What now?
You're gonna get a giraffe's neck on your arm.
Yep.
And then on your shoulder is gonna be the giraffe's head.
Okay.
And that's all you have.
Where's the legs? The feet? Is that my hand? Is that like my fingers are the feet?
Exactly.
Legs?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what?
You've worked it out.
I can't complain.
And the thumb's the little tail.
And the thumb is the little tail.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. That adds up. That does add up. Actually, yeah.
Exactly.
So when are we booking in for this? Is that
right after you tell me what you've bought on vinyl?
Oh, you want to know that? That's weird. Why would you want to know that?
Yeah.
That seems
Don't
quite
know, it
random.
just came to me.
Well, I have bought I got 2 records this week. The first one, we actually
spit it out, man.
The first one we alluded to a couple of weeks ago on this very podcast from the band Yard Act. A couple of weeks ago we mentioned that they'd put a random phone number up and said that they were releasing some records, very limited. The next day, if you listened to that, thanks for listening. But you were too late. They sold out within about 2 minutes. And guess who got one? This boy right here. They were available about a minute or 2 before the hour, which is when I was refreshing because I'm a loser. And I got a copy. So this record is, as I say, Yard Act. It's a AAA side. So it's got 3 sides. Yeah? Yeah, exactly. No, it's a AAA, although I can't remember which 2 are on one side, but it doesn't matter. But it's their 3 singles. Their 3 songs they've released. They only have 3 songs, no more. One of which is Trapper's Pelts, Fixer Upper, and Peanuts. 3 songs that I really like. It was supposed to be...
Oh, we're such silly little boys, aren't we?
Yeah. It was supposed to be on...
True love. It was supposed to be True
when
Love,
ordered,
but
it said it would be black vinyl. So it's one of 100 from the US. I don't know if it's like leftover stock from the US release. I'm not really sure how that works, or they were just made in the US or something, I don't know. They showed us black vinyl when buying. Then Yard Act put a picture on Instagram of them being kind of a light brown clear, I guess. Light brown transparent with black...
Translucent.
What was that, sorry?
Translucent.
Translucent, is that the word?
Translucent.
With black
You're
splatter.
not telling his overly excited voice. Translucent.
With a black splatter. Although mine arrived and it didn't it had no black on it at
Pure
all.
brown.
It was just the light brown kind of middle
Translucent.
few pints going to the toilet colour piss. Piss coloured is what I'm getting at after a few pints. Which isn't quite as interesting, but apparently a few people...
How are you drinking?
I guess, yeah, who knows. Apparently a few people got the one without the black splatter, and the band didn't know when asked. I messaged them just to find out. I wasn't really bothered, but...
Convenient, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, they said, we didn't even know they were going to be coloured until someone, the pressers sent a picture. They thought they were just going to be black. So, so certain amount of them have splatter, some don't. I don't know whatever. Who cares?
Must have been leftover... If they did, was it recycled vinyl or
there's no
not?
mention of recycled vinyl. Looked normal.
I'm thinking maybe they would just have like leftover bits,
Possibly.
perhaps.
Possibly. Yeah, pretty happy with that one. And then on to the next one is a record I picked up just today from a local charity shop for 60p. Although I had to pay £1 because they had a lower limit on the card transactions.
Robbing bastards.
There's absolutely nothing else that I liked.
Thieves.
That I could have just bumped it above, so I just said, I'll just charge £3. But it is...
What a good Samaritan.
That's who I am.
That's just the kind of guy you are.
It's all for charity. Take what you want, love. As long as it's no more than £1. And it is very fitting for the current time. If you don't know, it's about to be Christmas. And we are in winter. And this was a single of Boney M's Mary's Boy Child / Oh My Lord.
Oh my Lord.
I don't know what there is a B-side. I don't know what the song is. But I thought this was very good. And if you want to hear our thoughts on Christmas songs, just have to guess. But
tune in next week.
Listen to our something we'll tell you about in a minute. But very good Christmas song, and it was a good little pickup. Callum, what did you get this week? You got quite a lot, didn't you?
Yeah, just before I get into my record picks, I'd just like to say Happy New Year to everyone.
What?
Because it took Liam that long to go through his 2 records. I feel like I've aged about 4 years. So happy 2027, guys.
Shut up.
That was almost as brutal as my first comment I made about him speaking enough when we were talking about the Beatles.
So because we're now clearly on a tight time schedule, I'll just quickly run through mine.
Tight.
My first one is Oh Christmas by Porridge Radio on Flexi Disc. There's only 300 made. It's going for £2 on Art is Hard Records on their Bandcamp, but it's going for between 10 and 30 quid on Discogs. So go over to Art is Hard Records. It's the same record. It's not a repress or anything. Go and get it from there. Simples.
Only if you want it.
Next one. Oh yeah, if you don't
scalp it. Don't
be a little touting knobhead.
But if you had one in your basket on Discogs, go there instead.
Yeah.
Direct.
If you're a Porridge Radio fan like moi, off you pop.
Off you pop.
Next is another Christmas song. It's the double A side of Christmas Eve, Sole Purpose, and it's going to be A Cold Winter by Blossoms.
I think it is going to be cold. It's definitely started to.
It tends to get colder during winter, so I'd say they're pretty spot on.
It's a timeless song, really, isn't it? Until I don't know, 20 years in the future when everything's melted.
There is no longer weather.
Yeah, or probably a lot less than that. Sorry, Callum.
But yeah, it's just on standard black 7-inch vinyl. I've not had the chance to play it yet, so I can't tell you anything about the pressing. Something that is also the case with the next 2 because they only came yesterday. The first one being The Performer by James Wrighton. I'm a massive fan of this album, but I've only recently come across it. James Wrighton was in Klaxons and also released an album as Shock Machine. He's worked with Arctic Monkeys on Tranquility Base, and with this album you can kind of tell it's like Alex Turner has bitten him and James Wrighton has turned into him.
Turner man.
But exactly. I don't know if either of you have seen Benjamin, the film Simon Amstel did.
No, sir.
No.
James Wrighton did the soundtrack to that. So I've liked Klaxons for a while, but I'm quite enjoying this new direction of music James Wrighton is creating.
Nice.
So I implore you all to listen.
I consider myself implored.
Yeah, I can't imagine either of you will enjoy it, but you're wrong. And my final pickup for this week was something I ordered a while ago, but there was stock issues at the record store I won't name. Because I don't want to seem like I'm being a dick. Because
you are a dick.
Fair play. Yeah. It's And Now for the Whatchamacallit by Psychedelic Porn Crumpets, their third album, released on limited edition repress, blue and purple iris splatter.
What shade of blue?
It is royal blue.
Royal blue.
But I'd also say there was some green in there, so I think the blue and purple is a bit of a lie.
Ooh.
I think on Banquet it actually said it was a 3-color press, but on Discogs it says it's just 2. But yes, it's a very good album. I recently managed to pre-order their first 2 albums on repress, so I'll talk about them soon. But yeah,
Very nice.
that's me for week.
Oh, beautiful. I, as is becoming apparent on every week, have not bought any vinyl. Although I did find out what happened to my Jack's record.
Oh, I forgot to, yeah.
I haven't been out the house, so I've not checked the post box. There was a little slip in there. I was going to go get it the other day, but then I thought, you know what, I don't need to go out, so I'm not going to. So I've just done a re-delivery. Hopefully tomorrow it'll be here.
Oh, lovely.
So
Maybe
next time. Maybe next time. Eh? And you know, there are a couple more things we just want to leave you with. Cal, do you want to take it away?
I need to understand what is this? What does this mean?
So we're not gonna have an episode out next week on the normal Monday, because we're gonna have a break for Christmas. I think we all deserve that. I can't imagine anyone wants to listen to us over the Christmas period. So it just kind of makes sense.
I'm upset about it, personally.
So we are going to return on the 4th of January.
Ooh.
And the album spotlight for that week will be McCartney 3 by William Campbell.
Why is it so William Campbell?
I don't get that. Why is William Campbell there?
William Campbell's the guy who apparently replaced Paul McCartney in the conspiracy theory.
It's Billy Shears.
It's just a little joke.
Oh, right.
Is it not Billy Shears?
William Campbell was the guy's actual name.
William. Apparently. Okay.
I did a little Google before it. It could be wrong. It was just a little joke for you two.
No, yeah, we didn't get it, so it didn't
land. Really funny.
Clearly
really
not.
It.
McCartney 3 by Paul McCartney, which is out.
Hopefully it'll be out when we do the podcast, and won't be delayed any further due to COVID.
And by the real Paul McCartney.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be helpful.
We're going to do a little 2-week bumper episode because, well, I can't really imagine there's going to be much released on Christmas Day. Can you?
Queen's Speech.
I can't imagine anything apart from all the people.
Yeah, we'll feature an in-depth analysis of the Queen's Speech.
Oh God!
It could well be her last one.
Fingers crossed.
Oh,
I mean,
but yeah, we'd like to.
Philip.
We'd like to thank you all for listening. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Falls on a Hill Podcast, and on Twitter at Falls on a Hill Pod. You can follow the podcast on all your favourite streaming platforms. You can follow the link in our bio on Instagram, and it'll take you to whichever your favourite platform is.
Mm-hmm.
There'll also be a playlist on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
If you follow the master playlist, it'll update every week with the new episode's music. So you don't need to keep following different playlists. You'll just have the same one every week. Thanks to Liam.
Yes, I did that.
Yeah.
And
you gotta give him credit where it's due.
And I guess last thing, we do have a little announcement tomorrow. I guess it'll be tomorrow. Will it be tomorrow? Tomorrow.
What the hell are you trying to say?
Release time tomorrow. There'll be a post up about something coming for Christmas, something special.
Yes, that is true.
Thank you.
He's not wrong. By gum. He's got it.
Yeah, so tomorrow, which is
so
Tuesday, keep an eye out.
If you're worried about not hearing us until January the 4th, fear not.
Fear not.
Hey.
You just won't get one of these insightful update episodes.
Yeah.
It'll be so much better. Trust me.
Well, and on that note, thank you both for coming and speaking to me again, as it's the only keeping contact I get all week. And thank you all for listening if you're out there. And
next time, just don't undercook the beef, mate. Be around more often if you cook us some nice tea, but it's always just awful.
As it was. But yeah, goodbye.
Au revoir.
Oh no, I'm gone.